Hello, how are you doing, my friends? I hope you're doing great. Welcome again to Verified Soul and to today's video. This is another random video. We shall talk about the unmarried that apply for the DV lottery, the married people, and also those that get married during the process. But before that, we've seen a lot going on. Like right now, interviews are ongoing, and generally speaking, the interview progress is not bad. Many interviews are doing them in a good speed, but we have some few that are not yet up to the task. But generally, the progress is good. And another thing to note is that yesterday was the inauguration of the new president of the United States. And we know that we expect something to happen, but we don't know about it. We are just waiting and see. But let's speak about some things regarding the interviews. As the interviews are ongoing, there are several clarifications that we need to make and things to talk about. I know some of you are used to this information, but majority of you might not be knowing. Let us just take each case at a time, and generally speaking, handle the issues around all these applicants. We know that the DV Lottery 2025 interviews began last year in October, and we've seen many interviews going. There are interview experiences shared all across the internet through WhatsApp, through the YouTube, and the social media. And we've seen some that applied as single, that is unmarried, and others as married, whereas others were single, but during the wait or in the process, they got married. So for single people, it's just simple and straightforward. And mark you, the DV lottery process for unmarried people is simple and straightforward per se. The first thing is that even going through the process from the application all the way to the interview, there are not many steps that are required for single people. For example, when applying, you are adding no derivative. You don't have the hassle getting the documents for the derivatives. And when filling the DS260 form as well, you don't need any information about any derivative, only information pertaining yourself. And during the interview, you just need documents that pertains you, that concerns you. It is just as simple as that. But when we come to married people, it becomes much more complicated, especially in some scenarios. If your marriage is straightforward, let's say you got engaged before application and you got married before application legally, and that means you have the legal documents, the legal marriage certificate, then your process might not be as hard because you have the certificate to stand in for that, and you apply as married and you go through the process. And even if you have the kids, you just add the kids because you have their birth certificates. So if your marriage is straightforward per se, as that, then it becomes easy, but not as easy as the unmarried, because you'll have to gather all the documents pertaining yourself and those concerning your derivatives, that is your spouse and the children. And if you get other children, if you acquire other children like stepchildren or the adopted children, you also need to have those documents, the adoption documents and the birth certificate. And if your kids are above the age of 16, the age that requires you to have the police clearance certificate, then you'll have to get the police clearance certificate for all of them. So it is quite some task to do. And if you applied as single and in the process or during that duration, you got married. Because in any case, life continues as usual, as normal. You continue and you get married. So let's say you go that route. That means that you have added somebody to your life. And let's say you do it legally. That means you have the documents, the legal documents. That makes it much simpler because you just come with the legal marriage document, the marriage certificate, plus some additional information. That is, you have some sort of proof beyond the marriage certificate. And these are documents just to prove that your marriage is not fraudulent, meaning it's not just an organization after you won because you don't want to relocate alone. So you want to come with someone, and therefore you decide to look for someone and get married and go with him or her. So it must have some rigid proof that there was the existence of this relationship even before you were selected. It might be photos, it might be something that you've been doing together with proof documents even before you were selected or applied for the DV lottery. Now, that's about the documentation. And it's not just about that, there are many things around documentation that you can find on this channel as you go through the videos. But let's come to the expenses now. Of course, for the single applicant, that is simple. It's just the expenses for one person, just yourself as a single person. But when you come to married people, so you have yourself and you have your derivatives, that is the spouse and the kids if they are there. And that means if it's for the medical fee, you have to settle for yourself, for your spouse, and for the kids. If it's the air ticket, the same. If it's the visa fee, the same for all of you. If it is the green card fee, the same. So you have the expenses for all of you. Same case apply to those who married after getting selected or during the process. You'll have to incur the expenses for all the members that you add on the DS260 form. Even the newborn child that you get during the process, you add them and you have to face the expenses for them as well. And when we come to settling, that is, you've gone through the interview successfully and you've given entry to the United States. That means you have extra expenses in terms of settling down if you have a family, if you're not single. And this is an extensive topic because even finding a host, someone to take care of you once you step in the United States, is a hassle for married people. For single people, it is easy. There are many people willing to take in single people as their hosts. There are many people to sponsor them. But when it comes to a family, let's say a family of 3 or 4 or 2, then it becomes so complicated because not many people are willing to take that burden per se. Not many people are willing to take in such a family to take care of. And it's not because they are unkind. No, they are willing to support, but it is beyond their ability because hosting someone comes with a lot of responsibilities. Remember, you're the one to show this family the steps after you've stepped into the United States. It's for you to take them through everything that they need for them to settle down. And to do that for a huge family, it becomes somehow burdensome. And only few people can do that. So when it comes to settling for a family person, then it becomes quite a hassle. So that was just the general talk around the DV process for married, single, and the married during the process, just to understand the overall information around that. So get prepared, whichever case you are in, then get prepared. Each one of them can be successful. Each one of them can lead to a visa denial if you don't completely present yourself during the process. So thank you guys for watching this video. Many more videos are coming. Please subscribe if you have not. Don't forget to like the video, and let's meet in the next video.